G'day friends and fans, welcome to Tabletop News. I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the books The Boyhood of Cade, Power Games, Into the Ellsbound, and The Erotic Tales from the Empire. I'd like to thank all the sponsors of this channel, that is you, the viewer, who helps make this channel possible. And of course, as well as asking you to like, share, and subscribe, I'd like you to buy my books, buy my merch, and join my patrons. All my links are in the link tree. Alright. Of course, we start with my favourite site, the Bundle of Holding. I love me some bundles. I love me some cheapies. Some giveaways. Occasionally, you get extras. And of course, there's always the possibility that some of these bundles lead you to further discounts down the line with offers linked. If you've linked your Drive-Thru RPG, of course you have to log in first. And they do have support, and yeah, if you want to contact them or for anything. Although, I've never actually had to. I've never had a link fail. I've never had any trouble with their site in years now. I forget how many years it's been. Sorry about that. Don't want to ramble on too much. Alright, as you can see on the screen, the first bundle up is Weird Wizard. This is a fantasy role, if you didn't get it from the name that is, it's a tabletop fantasy role-playing game from Schwab Entertainment. That name may sound familiar, I'll get to that. Weird Wizard is the Shadow of the Weird Wizard, the core collection 995. They are the team. Robert Schwab of Schwab Entertainment is behind the best-selling Shadow of the Demon Lord. It was a highly successful Kickstarter campaign back in 2023. Shadow of the Weird Wizard is a swap out. It exchanges the Demon Lord's grim dark bleakness in favour of strange landscapes, bizarre monstrosities, and high adventure. And to be honest, there's still the DNA of the Demon Lord in there. Now, this is another D20 based RPG, so you'll find it easy to learn, easy to follow. There's a wealth of tactical options. Choose from dozens of ancestries, magical traditions, professions, expert and master paths to build the exact character you want to play. There's a twist of old classics with new wonders. No, $9.95 gets you the Weird Power Collection. That's the player's guide and spell cutout cards. But if you beat the threshold price of $26.29, level up, you get the entire collection. Alright, what's in the Weird Collection? Well, the minimum price gets you Shadow of the Weird Wizard. Lets you explore the borderlands and make them safe for refugees escaping the doom that has befallen the old country. Before his disappearance, the Weird Wizard released monsters to roam the countryside, cruel fairies to haunt the shadows, hybrid beasts, multi-legged hulking collections, floating eyes that hang in the air, trailing their nerve endings, undead that drag themselves from the tombs, and ancient evils. A mad sorcerer commanded eldritch powers of staggering might. The dread mage ruled over all he surveyed. As proof, only one had to look beyond the new lands to the walls of the Forbidden City, where clockwork peoples dwell in seeming servitude. But the Weird Wizard is gone. No one knows where. His absence has precipitated a bloody civil war that tears the great kingdom apart. Refugees by the thousands pour into the borderland territory to make new homes, only to fall to ravenous monsters. The displaced people need a hero to protect them. Ta-da! That is you, young man or woman. Death ain't sexist. This basically, it's built using the same system powering the Shadow of the Demon Lord. This gives you everything you need to be a champion of the innocent. Now, spell cards. Yeah, a whole bunch of spell cards covering all the spells from the main rulebook. So, have everything you need on hand. The Weird Sage Collection. Beat the threshold price, level up, and get this entire collection. Secrets of the Weird Wizard. This goes behind the scenes with origin stories for characters, rules for stuff between quests, tricks and traps, gods, factions, societies, and more. Everything you need to play through quests and more. It's comprehensive bestiality, which includes old and new terrors. Free Weird Wizards sourcebooks. Alright, glory to the High One. Play a member of the faith with this. Basically get all the details about the church, talents, religious orders, new items, new spells, new powers, new rituals, and where's the church fall into place now? Everything is falling apart. Weird Ancestries adds 30 ancestries that you play any kind of Borderlands characters, new powers, etc. traits. Fairy in Hand, again, this is about the immortal folk, fair and foul, noble and wicked, kind and cruel. The fairies have lived apart for ages. And as troublous times, this time is ripe for new heroes. And sprites, changeling, elves, hobgoblins and more join the thrill of struggle in the hole the Weird Wizard has left. Again, new talents, gear, spells, etc. for the Fey-touched. I mean in a good way. 4 Weird Wizarding Adventures. Everything you need to get started in this weird and wonderful world by Robert. $115 of Weird Fantasy for $26.29. I always recommend you level up. It's always good to have the complete collection. Do not count on collections repeating often. They are sometimes years apart, or you have to go to Drive-Thru RPG, but don't always expect a collection. Don't expect that once you've got the collection, there's no new material either. These are like advertising. They are PDFs and files, and they are all DRM3. So these are all tastes to get you into role-playing. But I mean, on its own, you can just buy bundles every month and play a game every month. You know, new games every month. Now, the Far Roofs. I like the concept of this. I saw when I was putting together. I was really interested in this. This is one I would put on the I'm looking forward to. May or might not know, I do get a lot of bundles from the Bundle of Holding. And for the price, $5.95. You rarely see bundles this low, and you rarely see something this high quality at this price. Now, $5.95 gets you the entire collection. Now, Far Roofs is a role-playing game by Jenna Moran. Sorry the name doesn't ring a bell. But the concept itself is interesting. You have talking rats, god monsters, and you in your own home. A strange landscape that stretches across the rooftops where intelligent and heroic rats confront the mysteries. Very personal horrors that can crush you. Personally crush you. Now, a shadow of mystery falls across your life. You join the rats in their terrifying yet beautiful domain and become entangled in adventures. This is a very interesting concept. Snakes, cats, the serpent Typhon. This is a standalone game, a complete campaign. It uses Scrabble ties, playing cards, dice, and 150 powers adapted from Chu Ubos. $5.95 DRM3 gets you the Far Roos. $27 retail. Now, it starts with the Fortitude Rats. You woke up from the sleep of rats. You now have consciousness, speech. You're not just a hero. You're not just rats anymore. You're heroes. You face terrible things. And, you're under roofs like rats do, but a whole landscape above us, strange fairylands, magic gardens, inexplicable towers, all manner of wonders. And regrettably, this is the demise of the mysteries. This is uses the D5 system. 5D system. I don't know much about it, and I don't know much about the engines. It's a success-based system. Anybody knows Shadowrun knows a success-based system. I actually favour this over target numbers. I think target numbers are more, although strategically thinking, I know a lot of people just say, just roll the dice. And of course, the whole idea of level progression is as you level, things get easier. Yeah. Maybe. A fixed dice roll system. I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. I always prefer the Shadowrun system over D&D. And I don't know how close it is to that. I honestly don't know. Today, I've only read this much about it again. But as far as I know, it was a successful Kickstarter from a successful person and you have something here which, to me, looks very intriguing. Indeed. Don't know if I'll probably get it next week to have a look at it. Another one that interests me is D&D is 5th edition Treasures, although it's a little rich. There's quite a lot of material here for $24.95, getting the entire collection. But it's not one book either, so you actually have a collection of books. So, maybe $5 a book. It's actually probably well priced, although I've seen bigger collections for less. It's still a fair price. Sorry to sound like a cheap bastard who has low income, who needs his audience help to just get across the line. All right, Herbalism. It's a botanical supplement. Source book for hedge wizards and folk horrors. Dictionary of real life plants. Gives you new subclasses, monstrous creatures, potions, items, and poisons. Just on its own, very nice indeed. Intangible treasures. Save the town of Wendleton. a trek through the elemental plane of fire. This is 650 new pages. Wow. Where you got boons, blessings, charms, packs, titles. Wow. Whole lot bunch of things. Nature spirits. This is incredible. Histories, titles, trainers. So far looking great, but what's really sold me, I'll get to that. So, 2 great books to start with, and then it just keeps getting better. The Ultimate Treasury gives you new items aplenty, from traditional fantasy to ancient treasures for various settings. Untold powers, librams, mechanicals, alchemic treasures. But also, you got to keep your loot safe, and guardians. So, gives you a lot. And then, of course, you got the Vault of Magic. 900 treasures. It's like, wow. All that. And, of course, yeah. Already. And, of course, Wondrous Tome of Wands. Uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary, cursed, ancient wands. More than 100 items, beautifully illustrated. Wands of different rarity levels. And a preview, a showroom display of a mansion to carry in your pocket. The man's is a arcane item. It's a humble shelter like a tiny hut, and it opens into a portal to a private dimension for long rests. If this doesn't, it's not for combat, brings nothing, There's no ground-breaking mansion or manor where you can, keep your pet dragon and pull them out of your ass every time you're in trouble. No, it's just this is a retreat. It's a free preview for an upcoming. And closing soon is the Dread Lair Ramekin. This is a nice little one price, gets you everything. $7.95 gets you hundreds of generic tables to basically build a lair. Build everything. Lair secrets, sunken lairs, wyverns' nests. Every entry has unique features. So you could build your lair, basically. Here's a list of lairs, as you can see. But, yeah. You've got major, minor features, creatures, appearance, treasures, trinkets, and trash. Everything you need to add flair to your lair. For your monsters, although could be for you. I'm not prejudiced. If you want to be a lair hobo, instead of your typical role-playing tavern, you think you're above us tavern dwellers in your lair. All right, folks. I'm sponsored by you, the viewing audience, through Patreon. My primary Patreon is for my writing, but my secondary Patreon is for my RPG, which I'm slowly building. I have hundreds of posts. 26 members. Hey, join for free. Let's build a growing community, shall we? I'll bring in your maps and stuff, and so if get your notifications. Yeah. All right. Now, I looked at this twice and I was like, wow, this has a lot of potential behind it. Fantasy Star tabletop role-playing game from Skydawn Game Studios. Now, you may not have heard of them, but let's just... It's amazing art. It's 90s anime style. Absolutely a bonus. Now, the names may not ring a bell until you get to their owners. They're owned by Sega. This is... yeah, so there's actual... And this is a handcrafted creation. There's a lot of potential here. Now, a name familiar, but let's be honest, the releases are far and few between. But Shadowrun 6th edition is out, and more material is starting to come out. Shadowrun Risk Awards. Ancient Frontiers. Ancient and modern, war-torn but prosperous, Cairo is a place where ancient customs and traditions walk hand in hand with the modern realities of the Sixth World. It's a place of mythical power, opportunities, and vast riches for those bold enough to claim them. Here, fortune and lives are often won and lost on a single decision. In the wake of the devastating Shadow War, several corporations are looking to Cairo to fortify and further expand their newly won power and influence, or halt their imminent demise. So you have to be familiar with the history of Shadowrun, and I get that. If you start at 4th edition, you're fine because it gives you backstory. Same with 5th. 5th gives you a lot of backstory. The 6th does kick off with a backstory as well, so you don't have to own it all, but it is highly recommended with Shadowrun. You do start with their older material and build up to 5th edition. You don't have to, of course. But I feel like you're missing a lot of stuff, particularly Denver, Bug City. If you don't, Denver and Bug City and the Renraku incident all teach you about the politics and betrayal systems that go on behind the scenes. It's an unwritten rule in Shadowrun that you're going to be betrayed. Spoiler alert. It's cyberpunk. I know it's cyberpunk with magic, but it's fairly distinct from cyberpunk, and it is its own world and its own mythos. Speaking of worlds, Dungeons and Dragons is going digital. I think you've all not heard about this. I don't know exactly when or how Hasbro initially announced this. It just seemed to be spreading around. I've not seen anything direct to say what exactly they're doing. But what we do get is glimpses at what they're doing. Now, Lorwyn First Light is a digital expansion. It is a world based on Magic the Gathering. It'll be released through D&D Beyond. I think more and more products will be digital only. And that, of course, means you'll see less and less on drive-through RPG, except for the diehards. Now, it appears that Magic and D&D crossovers are back on the table, though I can't exactly... though the digital expansion seems to be focused on the Forgotten Realms, and they are limiting their releases. Not everything will be physical, not everything, which means not everything will be digital. But Magic Crossover won't be physical, released in 2026. But right now they have released previews. This course comes hot on the heels of announcing, return to Dark Sun, and of course, who knows what else they will be dragging up. And yes, we have a Kickstarter from Ian Publishing. 13 days to go. This is for the Everything Old Is. This is What's Not Old Is New. This is a D6 role-playing game for fantasy, modern, and sci-fi. Old is, of course, the fantasy. Now is the modern, and new is the sci-fi. They are 3 separate books, but you get everything here through the stretch goals and the packs. But it is a huge, D6 dice pool system versus the difficulty benchmark. The game only uses D6. You have life paths. You start with an origin and then have various careers which add to your attribution skills and specific exploits along the way. You have a freeform magic system, a vehicle combat system, a starship combat system, martial arts system. You have 3 types of magic. You have standard magic, chi, and sonics. You also have mutant powers. And you can actually go into strongholds. Now, various reward tiers give you extras, which go all the way to all the books. £330 for all the euros for all the books. Way beyond my means. I backed a few actually of their before their Kickstarter I had a few of their bundles. They've been on bundle holding before. That's where I come across them in the first place. Another Kickstarter which grabbed my interest, although it's not fully to my taste. Tales from Elsewhere, Clockworld. It's an action horror RPG. It looks good. I'm just not that big on horror, but it looks good. I like the cover. It gives you that weirdness. It gives you that, ooh, what's this about feel, Well, at the same time, gives you some idea what it's about. And if you can't tell, that's a bucking nightmare, a demon horse with what appears to be a somewhat Native American. And then, of course, you've got the somewhat weird cowboy with the mechanical arm and the long iron in the other. And, of course, you've got the horrific creation there. But it's got a Red Dead Redemption style map. It's got a whole lot of high fantasy concepts and horror, and it's got a lot of elements to the game. It's now Thundercats grabbed my attention as a kid. Actually, I was a teen when it came out. Thundercats, it's one of those things where people have been waiting for this for a long time, and it's still there. still launching soon. They've just decided to hold off, probably because of the major competition right now for Kickstarter campaigns, as there's a lot going on. And the same thing, I think this is definitely going to day one fully funded. Apocalypse World Burned Over. I can see this as another successful Kickstarter. Apocalypse World, it's third edition of a groundbreaking and original, set basically right on the time that the world is burnt. You are in the ashes, born of you were born heroes, grief, monsters, terror, hope. Right now, again, it's still in the status of launching soon. So please, join my Patreon. Even if it's for free. Help me out. Just grow the community, please. Okay? And you get a free map. Once a month. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please support the channel. You can support me on Patreon. I have two. One for my writing and one for my RPG. Of course, there's also my books and my merch. All my links are in the link tree, which you find in the description below, in my profile, or scan the QR code on the screen. Appreciate each and every one of you. Look forward to seeing you in my community. Bye for now.